Okay folks, today is the big day as we leave the hotel here in Calgary, looking straight at the ski jump from the Olympics in 1988. I'm sure this also serves as a training facility for Ski Canada of some sort. And the second half of the trip starts today. And I couldn't be more excited because that means, of course, we are headed to the Rocky Mountains. And we're going to show you all of that, so stay tuned. So this is a great view of Calgary and the Bow River under there. That's beautiful. I've never been up here. Okay, so we've made it out of the city quite easily onto the 22. And I can start to see the hills that we're going to be heading into this morning. Yeah, the mountains are slowly creeping up. This is going to be fantastic. I've waited for this for months. I've planned it. I've, seen stuff on Google, and I've been on Street View trying to pick roads and doing my best to, keep some surprises to the end. Hoping for good weather, picking what I think is the right time of year to do this. And, I didn't want to do this early July because, well, the weather, and then also all of the families are on vacation, and I have nothing against, people taking their kids out for vacations, but when you're by yourself and you want to have an easy time of it and have a rather uncrowded environment, then, you avoid the school break as much as you can. And September would have been a bit cold in the mountains and stuff like that, so I figured, hey, let's just do this mid-August. Look at those. We're going over there later. I hope you can tell over there, but that's going to be absolutely insane, life-alteringly good to ride in. But that view was insane. There's some beautiful properties out here. For now, part of it feels a little bit like the eastern townships in Quebec back home. Part of the eastern townships. Similar trees, a mix of leafy trees and conifer trees and coniferous trees. So I'm not too lost visually, but as soon as I see those mountains peak, and you can't see them now, but if you're high up, and we're going up, like we're at 1,200 feet or 1,200 meters right now elevation. When you get up and you have a peak of the mountains, it's just, your heart just kind of goes, whoa, and we're gonna ride into those. Like, that's gonna be absolutely nuts. Okay, this is Turner Valley. I'm told to expect fuel here, even if my GPS disagrees. It's not always that reliable, and I have updated the maps, but we have a turn left here coming up, and hopefully I can expect a fuel station somewhere. Yep, I see something on the left there. All right, let's splash her full. Yeah, it's nice out here. Turner Valley, quaint little town. Yeah, it's pretty. It's cowboy country. I get it. Oh, massive bug in my face. I'm gonna have to. I might want to don my my mid-layer, my merino wool sweater just before the mountains, because when we get up, it'll cool down. Maybe I'll just put that on and clean that in my face. Wow. Oh my gosh. And that's nothing. That's the south section. Those are just like hills compared to, I think, what we're going to see this afternoon. This is going to be the most epic thing I've ever done on a motorcycle by far. Wow. Okay, so this is Longview. And indeed, we're going over there. I'm just buzzing with trepidation. Like, this is going to be the most amazing 500 kilometers of my life. Okay, here we go. 500 kilometers of absolute amazement awaits. This is going to be supreme. And what I've done is I've actually put the Hyperion into Dynamic Pro mode for this. Allow a fully loaded GS to let her hair down and slip into something a little bit less comfortable and a little bit more slutty, and see how a fully loaded, full of fuel with, I don't know, 100 pounds worth of gear on the back feels like. I'll report back when we get to the hills, because this is going to be amazing. So 541 is going to meet up with Highway 40. They actually closed that road off in the winter because of the road conditions. So I'm looking forward to some sweeping turns and hopefully asphalt that's just a little bit better than this. But this would be fine. It's all about the scenery and that road. Look at that. We're going to go in there. We are going to go in there. There are no words. There are no words. Oh, and the creek down there. Do have to watch out for wildlife and livestock and whatever, but oh Lord. And this is just an appetizer. Like, this afternoon is going to be just epic. I'm sorry you have to look at all the bugs on my windshield, so I'm trying to turn my head while looking forward so that you can see this. That's just insanely good. We got cyclists, of course. This is a great road for bicycles. I don't blame them at all. I wouldn't do it, of course, but you know. So we're like halfway through our morning ride already, and I'm completely altered. Like, this is incredibly good. And it's fast and sweeping too. Like, I'm not doing 50, like it's good. And so here we got some twisties. I might go down to 5th, but it's not incredibly technical. Like, I'm in 6th, I'm just doing highway speeds. Like, it's easy, look. Incredible. Incredible. It's like looking straight up. It's just mind-blowingly good. And to ride a GS through this, I mean, what else could you possibly want? I sincerely hope the windshield isn't throwing you off from the amazing scenery. I'm trying to look straight up. Maybe if I stand. That's the way to do it. The air is also incredible. It's crisp and fresh. Yeah, so some guys just showed up. I was pulling out of here, and they have mostly GS's, some older ones. I saw an 1150 over there. That was really nice. And I parked here because, I mean, look, the photo op it is self-explanatory. Stopped for a Cliff Bar and a little bit of water. It's just crazy good. It's just craziness. I mean, look at that. And the guys were like, where you headed? And I'm like, Jasper. He's like, oh, so your afternoon will be spectacular. And, you know, all Alberta plates, so I figured they know what they're talking about. And I mean, based on my research, it should be pretty amazing. So just gonna make our way out of here and keep recording for you guys, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so immediately this is called Highwood Pass. I just pulled out of the little rest area, and look at that. Elevation is over 2100, and we're gonna go down, but that this pass looks great. There's a turnoff close to Kananaskis Village that I'm not going to take. I hear it's nice, but I don't know about the road surface. Some of it might not be paved, so I'm just like, you know what, I'm not going to drop on this trip, honestly. So I'm not going to do it right now. I'm just going to stick to the pavement. But yeah, that was a nice little break, and then more awesomeness. Look how sheer, and I swear it's not a wordplay, but how rocky they are. It is the Rockies. Yeah, good road for cruisers. Oh my god, it's almost like I can't shut the camera off. I just can't. Like everywhere. It's just non-stop magnificence. The rock structure, how it goes kind of up the side of the mountain like that. You can see the violence of the cataclysmic event that caused these mountains to be formed. I don't know, millions of years ago, probably. Like, that's beautiful up there. And yeah, I'm really liking this road. Like, I thought it'd be a bit more technical, but no, it doesn't need to be. It's just, it's fine. You just ride along, and you're doing 100, and you're just looking left, looking right, and you just keep an eye out for livestock and whatever else, and you're good. What a place to just take over 10,000 kilometers on the GS. And also, what a place to tell you that, yes, I am planning to record a full review of this GS adventure. And hit that bell icon and make sure that's out. I've bought this in the spring, and I wanted to do this trip before giving you a review. I wanted to live with it for 10,000-15,000 and then give you an ownership review and not a technical review. We'll have some numbers and stuff, but you know them already. because you've seen, if you're interested in reviews for the GS, you've seen all of them. From Big Rock Moto and from, you know, all those guys. 44 Teeth and so on. I will link to those reviews in my review, but I'm going to give you an ownership review. So I'm going to start receiving the service warnings. 10,000, 10,000, you got to go in for a service. I could do an oil change in Vancouver. I contacted my dealership and they said I can go ahead and stretch it. Just keep an eye on the oil level. And it's brand new, so I can go ahead and stretch it to 13, 14,000 if I need it. I do have an appointment for that service when I'm back. So around Labor Day weekend, I have an appointment. So we're going to be stretching it a little bit, but it's not too bad. Keep an eye on the oil. And if I have a problem, there's dealerships everywhere, and there definitely is one in Vancouver. So I'm good. The one you shouldn't skip, though, if you're inclined to ask your dealership for service, is the 20,000 kilometer service, because they check the valve clearances. And again, this bike is brand new, so maybe they'll have some adjustment to ask. It kind of broke in, you know, but who knows. The engine feels fine after 10,000. No grievances there. See, service due. Have a service performed at a specialist workshop. I'm gonna have to cancel that notice for a few weeks. The Germans. 9 must go into service now. Now. No can do. I'm in the Rockies. The valley widens here a little bit, quite a bit actually, as we get closer to Kananaskis village. What? There's a golf course? No. I need to play there before I do dying. Oh my, I'm gonna have to do it. Kananaskis County Golf Course. Look it up. Tell me if you've played that golf course. Comment. Like, subscribe, but comment and tell me if you've seen that golf course, if you've played it. That's going to have to go on the bucket list of golf courses. I don't care if it's any good. I also want to see what a driver well hit here feels like with all of the elevation. It's 1460 meters, not that high, but maybe the ball carries just a little bit better. We're almost a mile up from sea level. Yeah, so the valley does widen. That's why there's room for a golf course, and it just kind of ends over there. This has been absolutely glorious. You got little creeks everywhere. You got little, you know, mountain, you know, terrain. You got these passes are cool. The cars are not going too fast, so like behind me, I can afford to slow down a bit and look at stuff, and it's just it's fantastic. Just I said it before, sensory overload. Like, it's just everything. And to do it on a motorcycle is just so much more pleasurable. Like, it's just so much nicer than having done it in a car, I think. I mean, okay, you know, the 911 convertible would have been nice, but apart from that, I mean, the GS is as good as it gets for this kind of thing. We have a little marshy area. Like, it's just, this is Canada in a nutshell, right? You got nice roads, you got the mountains, you got the marshy area, the little ponds and lakes and stuff, and the little creeks. I guess if you're an American tourist, you know about this because you have it at home as well in the Northwest. But if you're from overseas, maybe this is what you think about when you think about Canada. Hopefully this series has allowed you to see more of Canada than, I guess, just this bit. But yeah, we're going to get into Banff. I'm just going to look at the town, look at Lake Louise, look at this other lake I want to look at, and then we're going to find a place to have lunch, I guess, around 2:30 or something on the road on some rest area. I'm looking to look for a picnic table, somewhere I can sit for a little half-hour, 40-minute break with, I'm thinking, chicken primavera with pasta. That could be nice. I got a couple options. So that's called Barrier Lake. Must be nice. Oh, the air's nice and cool here. Oh, that's refreshing. You don't feel this in a car. You just don't. Oh, it's so much cooler. See, it just dropped like 3 degrees in a span of like 10 seconds. Oh, that was nice. Dropped down to 25 real quick. It's gonna go back up to 28 here in a second. See, 26. That just dropped. You don't feel that in a car. You can only feel that on a motorcycle or on a bicycle, but you have to be exposed to the elements. But I'm happy it's not raining today. I'm just exposed to all of this. But yeah, that was kind of funny. Back up to 27 now. And we're back on this side of the mountain range, on the east side. It's windy now because look how flat it is here. We're crossing over onto what you see up ahead there, where that truck is the Trans-Canada Highway, going to Banff, so back up, basically. We're gonna grab that for 60K. You gotta watch out for tourism. I know I'm committing tourism as we speak, but I don't intend to behave like a tourist on the road. This is nice. I don't know if you can tell, there's a massive plant there on the right. I genuinely don't know what that is. Let me know. Helicopter tours. Evidently a lot to do here if you're willing to spend the time. This is Canmore. Just I guess southeast I should say of Banff. Before Banff, if you want to use that expression. It's nice out here. It's hot. I'm looking forward to finding one of those cold pockets of air like I found a few minutes ago. If there's a rest area in one of those, I'm stopping for lunch in that 25-degree pocket if I can find one. It's gonna have to be next to a lake, I would presume. With all this pavement and cement and other cars and everything, it's hot. It's nice though. Oh, so if you're going to take the one, if you don't have a day pass or you don't have I don't know, I guess a business reason to go through or something like that, you have to buy a day pass. It's $10.50 right now, and I can just stop anywhere, and what I paid for covers for Jasper as well. And it's funny because, so the teller in the booth, you know, I say hi and she, you know, starts off hi and she explains, but I could hear just the ever so slightest fragrance of French in her voice. And I mean, I'm in Alberta, like, you know, there's Franco-Albertans, but I guess I figured, as we were talking, I figured maybe she was just like an expat from Quebec or something, working here in the summer, and then I know they're around, and so we finish, I pay, I do whatever, and I'm just like, merci, you know, thank you. And she's like, oh, de rien, merci, bonne journée, and then that's just like, oh, you're welcome, have a good day, you know. And so that was kind of funny. You don't want to call someone out, because you almost don't want to make them aware that you can hear the accent, because people sometimes might feel, I don't know, it's a thing with accents. Like if you have a French accent speaking English, and you might feel self-conscious about that later, like, oh, is my English not good enough or whatever, but her English was perfectly fine. It's just you could hear that she was probably a native French speaker. So anyways, I'm all paid up. I'm going to look into stopping in Banff now that I know that I can. There's an exit in 13 kilometers. That was planned on my route to begin with. It is really, really hot. And the fire danger, they say here, is extreme. I guess it's because it's dry, but I was just sweating beads at that booth. I had to wait 3 or 4 cars. So anyhow, we're just going to keep going on this. I'm fine for fuel up to Jasper, honestly, at this rate. So I'm not stopping for fuel at all. It's still really majestic, and there's still snow up there in the shade. And up there, because it's, I guess, really cold. So as we go up in elevation, we went down to 1,380, and we're still going down a little bit. That's in meters, 1,380 meters. I can only assume we're going to go up as we get back into the mountains towards Jasper. So maybe we lose a couple degrees, and that would be agreeable. There's a sign that says slippery at freezing temperature. There's no chance of that today. I need to keep hydrating. I have to remember to keep drinking water, especially after I'll have eaten. It's hot, but you're not sweating as much when it's really dry, and I'm not used to that. I'm used to just being drenched at home because it's like 86% humidity all the time. And here it's a lot drier, so I'm not sweating as much, so I have to keep remembering to drink. You are sweating, it just dries off right away. So hydrate, folks, otherwise I don't want to lose faculties out here. I'm not sure which exit to take. The 2 next exits are for the town. I don't even know if I want to stop and look at something. I mean, it's going to be full of people. Let's see if I can tell from the highway and take the next exit or something. I think we'll just ride through Banff and just kind of look at it. There's no point in me stopping. I'll stop in Lake Louise. All right, let's see. A mountain, a town. It's pretty, it's mountainous, I get it. Is there a roundabout? Gonna go through. Yeah, okay, you got your Petro-Canada, you got your fuel, you got your, yeah, this is where I would have stopped had I needed it. Hello, ladies. Yeah, see, I'm getting out of here. I've seen it. Just resorts and hotels and just restaurants and bicycle rental and all of that good stuff. So I think there's a street on the left here that I can grab and get out of here. I'm not staying for a walk. It's 30 degrees. And it's just an asphalt jungle. I get it though. If I was to, like, I don't know, own a camper or have days upon days, or if I wanted to stay here overnight, I'd take a walk late afternoon, early evening. Like, I get it. I just for right now, I can't be bothered. cool to live here, though. I don't know. You'd have to own something or work in hospitality or something. I don't know about, you know, businesses and stuff like that around here in terms of like whatever isn't hospitality. Like there's a plumber, I guess. I don't know if this is an actual street. Let's get the GPS to forget about this town and just proceed onwards and get out. It's nice though. Like I wouldn't mind this for an overnight. There's a nice lake there. It's just nice and green, and I mean, I might as well look at it. I'm here, but yeah, that's kind of cool. I guess that sign explains what makes the lake green. Okay, we've done Banff. We've seen Banff. It's done. Cool. I've seen the Bow River Lake thing. I've seen the Petro-Canada. We can leave. Oh, there's a business. Rundle HVAC for all your heating, ventilation, and air conditioning needs. 403-707-7100 in Banff, Alberta. Oh, pedestrian crossing, for Christ's sake. At least the nice man at Rundle HVAC was able to stop for the pedestrian. I probably wouldn't have. I'm a savage. Okay, back to the highway. We're going to Lake Louise on the Bow Valley Parkway, or rather to the Bow Valley Parkway to grab the road for Lake Louise. Still, a beautiful road, nice views, lakes, forest and mountains and such. This is why I took this trip, is for today basically, so I'm happy I've kind of just seen Banff just so that I can kind of say that I've, I don't know, put my left foot on a street corner somewhere. And if somebody needs to know where to find the Tim Hortons, I can tell them. That's about it. It's a weekday, but it's still, you know, the middle of summer, so it's full of people like me, essentially vacationers that just come and spend their money. So let's just see what that looks like. The Bow Valley Parkway. Let's get there early. I have time. Time is fine, and it might just be marginally slower. And see what comes of it. Maybe we get some wildlife. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, if I do 60 or 70 here, I was doing 100 on the highway. That's not a problem. And I can stand to air down and stretch. And at some point the GPS is going to catch my drift and let me stay on this road. That's nice. Let's see what comes of this. I gotta keep the visor up because it's really hot before I put her on Dynamic Pro. Here we go. To change the mode, you have to clutch in, and you immediately feel the stiffer suspension. It'll lift the back of the bike up ever so slightly as well. It'll be set up on max suspension preload height. And yeah, I don't mind doing this kind of speed for half an hour. All right, well, 1A, it's been a pleasure. But I want to get back to the 1. And I can do that here. Okay, so we are going to be stopping in Lake Louise. If only just to get off the bike for a second and grab some water. I'm gonna see if I can find some place to make my meal and eat, or if whatever, plans change and I just said, whatever. Lake parking full, what does that mean? I don't need lake parking. I just need some sort of outcroft to leave the bike in for a few minutes so I can just have some water. There's a bit of a drive before the lake, I think. Shuttles to Lake Louise and Moraine Lake. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Alright, let's put our foot down here. Oh, yes. It's hot, folks. Oh, there's snow and maybe a glacier up there. Obviously, I'm going to get a different look, and I think there's one on the left here that when I turn, I'll be able to see another, you know, angle from the mountains. I'm a little bit tired. I need water and food. Again, I hope this won't be a tourist stupidity. It will be, won't it? I just want some cool place in the shade with a picnic table. Yeah, snow caps up there. That's crazy nice. Cool. So it's 2.3 kilometers to Moraine Lake Road, which is really what I want to see. It was Moraine Lake the whole time that I was looking for the name of that lake. So I don't know if I'll see Lake Louise as such, but I really want to see Moraine Lake. High congestion area. Very nice. Yeah, just let us go through. Thank you. Yeah, so Lake Louise and Moraine Lake, these are both on the same road, and I definitely wanted to stop here, so I hope I can find a place to just put the bike for a few minutes. The water color is crazy nice. Moraine parking full. Then what the fuck do you want me to do? Oh God. So you're saying I can't see it, period. All right, well, I'm stopping there. I'm sorry, but it's gonna have to happen. All right, so I've parked, and we're just gonna have a nice view, and I'm gonna eat, take a proper break, and go from there. Let's boil that. Got my chair set up in the shade here, and that's where I'll eat. It's just I need the table for obvious reasons. And I gotta pick my meal. Well, it's gonna have to do. I got my chili, and I'm just gonna sit here for a bit and cool off. I took the boots off. I'm just drying off. So, cheers. Nothing like a really hot meal on a 30-degree day in the Rockies. It's actually all right in the shade. All right, so lunch is done and dealt with. I gotta get out of here, and more importantly, I gotta find somewhere to pee. And I can't just go in here because yeah. So this is me back in voiceover. Can you imagine? I was upset here. I'm just looking at these clips, and I was really disappointed that I couldn't see the two lakes that I wanted, Lake Louise and Moraine Lake. Just, you see the tour bus, there's just people everywhere. Obviously there are things I don't
there are things I don't show you just for length, and we're kind of cutting the video a little bit here, but I make it back to the highway a bit dejected. The reality is it was 32, 33 degrees. I was tired, I was hot, there were people everywhere, and when you're on a motorcycle and you're not moving, you get pretty clammy, and I get impatient. When I'm really hot, I just want to get going and find some sort of physical comfort. So the good news, even though these clips don't have any sound, a bit like you've seen in previous episodes, is now I've figured out what was wrong with my microphone. So obviously, the previous clips you saw me eating and preparing, lunch and taking a bit of a break. Well, obviously I take the microphone off the camera to be able to just use the media mod, the front mic. And a tip for everybody else, make sure you clip the microphone back in, because evidently that's what was wrong with the whole setup, putting the camera back on the helmet, and the sound kind of fixes itself again in a few minutes here when I step off the bike again. Thank you for sticking with these episodes and sticking with me. This is a big one. I've seen comments on my channel. Obviously, if you've made it this far into this episode, and if you're watching this episode, it probably means that you watched the 4 that preceded it, and there's a good chance that you commented and subscribed to my channel so that you could see the 4 or 5 episodes that are going to come up soon, I hope, and complete this series. It's a labor of love to edit these, but life kind of gets in the way, and I really appreciate the enthusiasm and the very light impatience that some of you had in looking at these episodes and waiting for the next one. This was interesting. This I won't tell you what it was, but as you can see, people stop by the road and just take a look and take pictures and stuff. And I was like, "What's over there?" And that's a black bear. I didn't stay any longer than I had to. Had to keep traffic moving, but yeah, wildlife. Such are the Rockies. You have to watch out for them. But the good news is people tend to stop and slow down. You kind of have an idea that something might be coming up. The scenery is still absolutely mesmerizing, and I'm looking back at this. It's January 2023 now, me editing this, and I'm looking back at these in total amazement of this day, and I remember it vividly and fondly. As we get back to the rest of the video, thanks for hanging in there. I'll talk to you guys soon.
So this is Bow Lake. It's pretty, it's green. Let's see if I can... I'm not going to be able to walk to it, but I don't know if you can tell, but the water is just completely clear. Zero weeds, nothing. And I guess it comes from that glacier, and there's a man bathing. See, if I had some time, I could do stuff like that, but I don't, so I don't. That is beautiful. Very nice. And there's another outcrop there to look and stuff, but no, I like that angle. That was good. That was really good. There was a deer just before I couldn't catch it, just before the entrance to that little parking lot. Yeah, you can see all the cars are lined up, probably for that building there. I don't know if that's a lodge or something, but that is just, oh, and there's a glacier over there. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to see it. Yeah, and it's a lot cooler down here, 25 degrees, thank goodness. Yeah, it's some sort of Outlook building. Yeah, that was great, and that glacier there, that's just fantastic. I have to keep my eye on the road. I'm doing my best to give you the images, but I'd like to stay alive. Well, that's pretty, once again. That's about 30 seconds since I clicked the button to stop the clip before. At some point, I think, the trees just stop. And we're approaching 2,000 meters. We're gonna dip in a bit, but continue climbing. So that's 1.5 miles up. Like that's high up. So at some point, maybe the trees will just stop, and we're gonna be in that ice field. I'll have to wait and see. There are clouds over there. It's not supposed to rain. They're just nice clouds. That's a postcard. Do they still make postcards? I guess so, just for this purpose. That's a bizarre looking cloud. Is that smoke? I hope not. I don't have my N95 anymore. I threw it out. Down to 26 degrees. Very, very nice. It's amazing how 3 or 4 degrees difference, what that makes. There's still that snow up there. I'm trying to look at the road, point you to it. Out here, and I love just cruising. We're doing 100, if that, and not a worry in the world apart from those clouds up there. But that's a completely different look. See, that's on the sun all the time, so that's just burnt and baked for eons and millennia. And on the other side, it's more of the shady stuff, and there's the ice. Saskatchewan River. Wow. That's insanely good. You can kind of see that cloud just rolling over the top of that mountain. Coming from whatever, northern BC or something. Yeah, so we just got a warning. I hope it clears before we get to the ice field, and I've never smelled this on the road, but it's unmistakable. That is smoke coming from a fire in BC somewhere. When I'm in Jasper tomorrow morning, I will have to look at maps to figure out if there are road closures, if there's stuff I need to avoid. But, and to see that red hue there, that's unmistakable. So hopefully visibility isn't too poor up there, and most importantly, the air quality, because I have to sleep in this. So we'll have to wait and see, but that is, that's smoky. That's insane. Yeah, it's just going from one mountaintop to the other. It looks like from here I can see kind of through and under it. Nice creek. Yeah, very smoky, but it looks like we're going to clear it from underneath. That's insane. Yeah, there's a fire over there somewhere. That's BC probably. I don't know if that's human error or if that's just the way it is with the thunderstorms that we've had. Well, I've seen at least firsthand over the last couple of weeks that it's been hot and muggy and stormy, and it's not uncommon the fires get started by a lightning strike. But I'm not going to stop and breathe this more than I have to. That's really eerie. there's the fire. There's the fire, and it is roaring. Wow, what a view. You have the red sun up there behind all that smoke. I'm gonna have to stop somewhere and grab a picture of this. Or is it safe to stop? Dude, you're in the middle of the road. That was crazy. That's mental. I didn't think I'd see that, I'll be honest. It's like right there. Anyway, something happened. Yeah, the fire is right there. I'm going to be camping 126 kilometers away, so I'm not too scared. They said water might be pooling on the road. That's, yeah, it's really close, actually. That might be rather unsettling. Ooh, we had some problems here. Oh dear. Okay. So yeah, repair that before that goes ape. And you see the government surveyors are trying to figure out what to do about this fire. And now it's super dark and cool all of a sudden, and the sun looks like it's from Mars. Wow, I've never seen that before. And it smells too. It's like pine and cedar, which it is. Yeah, really dark now and brown and reddish. What a day. What a day. The fire looked like very precisely located. I'm not sure if they can afford to see, and there's the chopper just hanging out there. I don't know if you can see it, see the chopper blades just kind of keep going there, but I don't know if they can afford to just dump a whole bunch of water on there and it's like locally just, it's located in such a way as to just precisely put it out, maybe. I don't know. Before it gets too destroyed, you know, the area. But that's insane still. Look, the sun's gonna come out at some point. We're gonna get over this ridge and the sun's gonna come out, but that's just nuts. We're out of it now. There's a waterfall down there. We go down to 30. So if you don't mind, the visor is going to come up. We go down to 30. I guess there's something to see. That's something to see over there. Luckily there's nobody behind me, like that's great. I can just kind of slow down. Be turning in here and facing the other way in a second. That's interesting. And a river runs through it. And a pond. Ooh, that's clear water. That's incredible. You can just see the bottom. Oh, it is very windy. I need to look at my corner, but I also want to look up. People stop there, I guess. I'm just gonna look at it here with you. Oh my. Now this is a road. And there's the fire smoke again. These people on these bicycles are just my heroes. I don't know how they do it. Insane. That's crazy. Ooh, a massive waterfall. So at this point I kind of have to stop stopping, if that makes sense. I'm gonna have just a bit of water at the Columbia ice fields, but I really don't want to make it out to camp when it's really dark. And I don't know what time to expect that to happen. It's down to 24 degrees now. We're climbing steadily. We're gonna get back to 2,000 in a second here. Right here, 2,000 meters. It's an amazing view. There's still sunlight. It's just I have 100 kilometers to do, and it's this kind of speed. It's long, so if I take another hour and a half to get to camp like my GPS says, then or an hour and 20 minutes or whatever, it might be cutting it a little bit close. So there, I think, is the ice. When you've spent the day in 30 degrees, 31, and you get down to 24, you feel it. We are really close to the tree line here. So people can tent here. I saw on the side there, and these are the Columbia ice fields. It's almost like I'm the last guy up here today. There's nobody behind me, but just look at it. And there it is. So all the way up there is just ice. And there's some more over there. Yeah, the wind off of this is just very cold. I feel the air. Yeah, there's people up there. There's tours. Like, you can take a truck with, I don't know, grippy tires, and just go for a bit of a jaunt, I guess. I'm just gonna want to grab a couple snips here and then leave. So there's different dates, like there's 1908, there's 1925, and then there's different sections. And I think what they're trying to say is the glacier was here at that time, it was here at that time, and so on and so on and so on. And you see the glacier retreating and leaving behind all of this nothing. It's very windy. 1935, is that what it says? Yeah, the glacier was here in 35, and then I'm going to stop by the medallion and have a picture. And this is a good place as any to change batteries and stuff as well. So what does it say here? It's nice to comfortable to walk in all my gear. Yeah, the glacier was here in 1942. So, you know, ice ages and stuff, but one can also argue that 1908 all the way up there was kind of the beginning of the industrial age, at least for the Western world. The Victorians and such. And then all the Edwards, and then a couple of Georges, and then, yeah, That's crazy, crazy. I need some pics. So we have service here, which is awesome. Oddly, I don't have any allergies up here. I hope the camera does it justice. I have to swap out batteries now, but it's just completely nuts. Anyway, see you in a bit. Well, sadly, I have to go. This would have been a great place for my lunch from before, but that's like 3 hours ago, so I still have sunlight. I'm fine. I got like 100 clicks to go. But this is crazy. This is by far the most impressive, like, visual sight that I've ever seen. And it's in my home country. I don't have to go to Eastern Europe or anything. I mean, I'd like to. But, you know, I will be back. I'll spend more time. I think this trip, honestly, is meant to be done in 4 to 6 weeks. That's really how long it takes to do this. I'm doing it in a week and a half, 2 weeks, without even riding back. That's the crazy thing. I'm not even going back home on the motorcycle. I'm flying back home. But to do the trip properly and to experience Canada, from coast to coast, but also riding back and taking different roads and looking at different things on the way back and kind of making your way back home, that could be exciting as well. And that, again, that would take 4 to 6 weeks minimum. And if you're retired and you have 8 weeks to do it, well then, good on you. But even if you're not retired, I was going to say, if you're not retired, 4 to 6 weeks is a stretch. Unless you're a teacher of some description and you have off for the entirety of the summer or whatever. But yeah, all right, 95 clicks to the campground. I think we're just gonna have to just go there and not stop. I'm fine for fuel. I just swapped the battery so I can talk to you guys pretty much on the way, not the whole time, but on the way there. And yeah, public parking. A lot of people just take a look at it from here and then take a hike, which I would have done, if I took 2 days to do this road, which is 275 clicks a day. I can't do 275 clicks a day and expect to make this trip in 2 weeks. It would have been just take 2 weeks to get to BC and then go home. And I have things to do in BC and people to see and such, so that I really want to do that. All right, let's go. There's a sky bridge coming up, I think. I haven't seen that yet. I think that's one of the last things to kind of look at on this ride. It's almost like I'm desensitized to the majestic nature of these mountains. Like I've been in them for a day and already I'm like, oh, I'm in the mountains. But I'm doing it. I'm from Montreal and I've ridden out here and we're doing this. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, I'm not going on that. Sorry. It is an insane view though. Yeah, I think it's for tour buses only or something. There's no access. Yeah, I can see why they slow us down to 50 here, because everybody, I mean, the roads are very windy, and if you're not paying attention, like I'm doing my best to just watch my corner, and I know the pavement's good at the very least, but if you have these buses or these tourists or even locals like just not paying attention, just looking at stuff like I am a lot, then it could be dangerous, and you don't want to be stuck out here having to, geez, get airlifted out or something. That's not good. We're in the valley now. It's very flat, which is fine. Really two big mountain chains on either side. More of Alberta that way and British Columbia this way. Cute little river stream here and a massive river on the left there. So we are definitely in a different section. Like the trees are all back. The mountains are further apart. They're still gorgeous and beautiful and grand, like just gigantic mountains. Looking forward to camp, I really am now. Ooh, all these rocks, look. From that falling down, maybe, over the years. That's nuts, there's water and stuff. Yeah, clearly in a different section. This is the one really good camp that I was looking forward to. Nice Provincial Park was fantastic. I had a good sleep there. It's funny, I always measure the quality of a campsite by whether or not I can get decent sleep. Everything is still really gorgeous and beautiful. It's always the last 10% I find of like distance or time in a trip that puts me on edge a little bit. Like I'm just really looking forward to camp, and I'm just hoping that nothing happens and I won't run into anything or anyone or whatever, you know. The bike is fine. I got plenty of fuel to make it to Jasper tomorrow morning. Everything's fine. It's just, yeah, I'm gonna have plenty of sunlight to set up camp until at least 8:30. Like, plenty of time. I'll buy some firewood. I don't know, I'll think about 2 bundles instead of just the one. I don't know, because I'm gonna have plenty of time to kind of decompress and sit. There aren't that many bugs. I know my windshield is just festooned with corpses and entrails, but I really haven't seen that many bugs, and I have my thermocell if there's anything, but it seems pretty bug-free. Yeah, a lot of water now. The river's getting busier and busier. You got some rapids and some swifts. Wildlife on the road. Yeah, okay. Do not feed or approach the wildlife. Well, I've seen people approaching wildlife all day long. Like here, what did someone see? What is it that someone saw? There's probably a bear or something. Somebody hit something. What's going on here? Oh, we got some goats. We got some goats. They're white. Maybe you couldn't tell, but we got some goats. See, that's what happens. There's wildlife, and then the humans stop to look at the wildlife. I'm not stopping. Like, look, I just really want to get to camp. Nice shaded rest area. In a car, I feel you can chill a little bit more or take your time, especially if you're like, we're gonna camp like 20 minutes out or something. Like me, it's supposed to be 20 minutes out of here. In a car, you can chill a bit. On the motorcycle, I gotta set up. I just, you know, I'm more anxious, I think, on the bike. In the car, I probably would have stopped and said, hey, let me take a picture of the goats, and, you know, but the goats didn't care. There is one thing I should mention, because this is a busy park. One thing that's kind of making me really feel safe about the wildlife is, as you saw, every time someone sees something, then everybody sort of stops. And although it can look kind of ignorant to stop and take pictures, or I'm hoping nobody's throwing food at the wildlife, but at least everybody kind of stops. So you know some sort of four-legged creature has emerged from the woods, you know. It's not just like, hey, a deer, and then you die, you know. It's more like, well, hold up, you know, like we got a situation. Everybody's kind of slowing down, you know. Just cruising, just chilling. 32 degrees. It's as hot as it's ever been today, and it's 7 o'clock. Really decent views to finish the day in the sun. We're almost down to 1,000 meters now elevation. We're down almost 1,000 from where we were at the glacier, and it shows. I mean, look at the forest. There might actually be a few leafy trees. Yeah, we're going downhill. I got the fuel warning light on and bike. I'm not concerned. Jasper is like 25k away, and I got 86 range. Like, everything's fine per my math. And I'm almost at camp. Looking forward to it. So Wabasso campground is 9 kilometers. Yeah, early in the day this could have been a good road, but late in the day I'm not sure. You have to have your wits about you. It's quite technical. I say quite, it's just because the corners are blind and I'm tempted to look over there. Let's find this campground. Okay, I think this is the campground, and I think I'm in kind of that section there. See how open it is? We're not going to have a lot of bugs. Yeah, there is service. That's fantastic. Full service. Alright, so this apparently is a very nice sort of premium spot, and I have selected a very good site apparently. A86. I was told I didn't need bear spray, but there's a bear locker right next to my site, and they're not interested in anything apart from my food, which they will not find. I'm gonna put everything in a dry bag and everything in the bear locker. There aren't any showers, but there's water in the bathrooms, and so I'll read the brochure. I don't know if I'm supposed to be drinking the water, or if I should avoid drinking the water, and what I should be cooking with or not cooking with and stuff. I still have some water, maybe 1.5 liters total, but I'm only gone tomorrow morning, and I'm told that in town in Jasper there are showers at the aquatic center that I could use for $5, and that might be what I end up doing, and then change there, kind of. Yeah, so I'm gonna rinse off in the bathroom. He says, yeah, just rinse off and you can towel off and whatever, it's fine. There's just no shower. Put some water in my face and in my neck, like that's the most important, and then my hands and stuff like that. And also, what's very, very nice is I'm told that the firewood is just included, like for free, and there's just wood next to my site that I can just grab and just make a fire. So I might have 2 little bundles to work with, so that will be really nice. It's still 32 degrees. A85, A86. 86. So I guess that was me over there. All right. So this is me. This is kind of cute. I've got the nice view of the mountains, a little bench thing, my fire pit. And I'm gonna have to find the wood, but that's 85, so this is 86. I think the tent is gonna go on here in this area. And honestly, there isn't much to work with for the tarp, so I think we'll forget it. And in any case, I've got shade now, so. All right, chat later.